As we approach the end of the year, it's time to think about stocking up on some essentials. With prices expected to rise in the coming months, a little strategic hoarding can save you money in the long run. I've put together a list of 10 items you might want to consider stocking up on before January rolls around. Trust me, your future self will thank you. 1. Garlic. Let's start with a kitchen staple that's as versatile as it is delicious. I remember the first time I tried to grow garlic in my backyard. It was a disaster, but that experience taught me to appreciate how much work goes into producing this. Fresh garlic can last up to 6 months when stored properly in a cool, dark place. If you're like me and use garlic in almost everything you cook, this is great news. And if you're worried about running out, dried garlic powder is a great backup that lasts pretty much forever. 2. Chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate? In fact, I once ate so much chocolate during a movie marathon that I couldn't look at a candy bar for weeks. But that's beside the point. Chocolate prices tend to spike around holidays like Valentine's Day and Easter. So stocking up now can save you some cash later. The best part? Chocolate freezes well and has a long shelf life. Just make sure to store it properly to avoid that weird white stuff that sometimes appears on the surface. 3. Coffee. As a self-confessed coffee addict, this one is close to my heart. I once tried to give up coffee for a week. Let's just say it didn't end well for anyone involved. Coffee is often imported from countries like Brazil and Colombia, which means prices can be sensitive to tariffs and global events. Whether you prefer ground coffee, whole beans, or instant coffee, they all store well for months when kept in an airtight container. If you're feeling adventurous, why not try buying green coffee beans and roasting them yourself? It's a fun hobby that can save you money in the long run. 4. Shrimp. Frozen shrimp has a surprisingly long shelf life and can be a great luxury item to stock up on when prices are good. If shrimp isn't your thing, or if you're looking for more local options, consider other types of fish. Better yet, if you live near a coast or a lake, why not try fishing yourself? It's a relaxing hobby that can also put food on the table. 5. Citrus fruits. There's nothing quite like the zesty smell of fresh citrus fruits. I remember my grandmother's lemon tree and how we'd spend summer afternoons making fresh lemonade. Citrus fruits like oranges and lemons actually store well for months when kept in the right conditions. The best time to stock up is during the winter months when citrus is abundant and affordable. If you're worried about them going bad, you can always juice them and freeze the juice in ice cube trays. It's perfect for adding a burst of flavor to water or cooking. 6. Avocados, tomatoes, and berries. Fresh produce can be tricky to store long-term, but there are ways around it. For tomatoes and berries, frozen options are a great substitute for fresh. They're usually frozen at peak ripeness, so you're not sacrificing on flavor or nutrition. For avocados, here's a trick I learned the hard way after letting one too many go bad. You can freeze mashed avocados with a bit of lemon juice to prevent browning. 7. Bread. Bread is a staple in many households, mine included. I used to think bread was one of those things you couldn't stock up on, but I was wrong. Bread actually freezes really well when double wrapped to prevent freezer burn. You can stock up on your favorite loaves when they're on sale and defrost them as needed. If you're feeling ambitious, you could even consider making your own bread. With bulk wheat and a bread machine, you can have fresh bread whenever you want. I tried this for a while and my house smelled amazing all the time. 8. Peanut butter. With peanuts heavily imported from China, we might see some price hikes in the future. I once ran out of peanut butter during a late-night craving, and let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. Don't let this happen to you. Stock up now to avoid disappointment later. If you're not a fan of peanut butter or are looking for alternatives, consider other nut butters like almond or cashew. They're delicious and often locally produced. 9. Meat. Beef and pork prices are expected to rise, so if you're a meat eater, now might be a good time to stock up. Look for local farmers or butchers who might offer bulk discounts. If you're trying to cut down on meat consumption, like I am, consider stocking up on plant-based proteins like beans or lentils. They're cheaper, have a long shelf life, and are incredibly versatile. 10. Alcoholic beverages. Last but not least, let's talk about adult beverages. Beer and wine often come from Canada and Mexico, which means they could be subject to price increases. If you enjoy a drink now and then, consider stocking up on your favorites. Alternatively, why not explore local craft options? I discovered some amazing local breweries and wineries this way, and now I barely miss the imported stuff. Remember, the key to successful hoarding is to only stock up on things you'll actually use. There's no point in saving money on something that will just sit in your pantry forever. Trust me, I learned this the hard way with a giant tub of protein powder that's still taking up space in my kitchen.